What's good, everybody? It's your favorite most turned up host Zoto, right here with another episode of Mental Health Mondays, the podcast, episode 10.
Oh, you did it again. Episode.
I did that on purpose.
Episode 10. Y'all know what I'm talking about if you check one of the last episodes out.
This is episode 10, man. We ain't really had no topic today, man, but I just thought that it would be better fit, that we just gonna talk about bereavement, loss of anybody that lost in the past, or lost today, yesterday, or anything like that. You already know I got my co-host
You know what it is, Dirty Eagle in the building, man. It's gonna be a good time today.
Yes, sir. Hey,
That's nice talk about
a special guest in the building, man. Hey, I'm gonna let Dirty Eagle introduce him, man.
Let me tell you right now, man, this ain't a special guest, it's family. It's my little brother, man. Like on the real, man. Probably one of the most talented musical artists I know, whether it be rapping, singing, and the man legit can sing. When I was at probably one of my darkest spots in my life, came through, and ever since then, man, it's a different life right now. So, needless to say, man, my brother from another man, Dirty Eagles, very young, Shakey Hendrixx. Yo. Like you followed my label.
This nigga just said like,
Dirty Eagles, very young.
Very young.
Nah, man.
He been asking me to you, like, yeah, I'm gonna get you.
I'm gonna get you one day. I'm gonna get that money together.
Man, get that money together.
But boy, Shakey, what's the word, man? How you
Man, chill up, man. I'm blessed to be here, bro.
Man, hey,
What's up?
so it's been a lot of shit. Again, every time we do these episodes, man, there's always something that goes on in the entertainment industry that that goes or correlates along with the topic that we talk about. You know what I'm saying, the following day. So you know what I'm saying, I don't really know who this guy is, but Clifton Powell, y'all know who that is?
Nah.
Was he a singer?
Nah, he was a politician or something. Was he?
Man, come
That
on,
sound
man.
familiar.
No, listen to him,
What's his
man.
name?
Colin Powell, man.
Colin Powell.
Colin
You know what I'm saying?
Powell. All right, Clifton Powell.
I'm gonna say it sound familiar.
I get him mixed up.
You big dummy.
Colin Powell. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace. The condolences go out to him, man. You know what I'm saying? He passed away. All right. There's been a lot of deaths, or especially around me, man. Like my homie, last week, shout out to Keith Corleone, rest in peace to him, man. He got killed, last week. I woke up this morning, my homie Alexander Smoke, he got killed, I think a couple of days ago. He just celebrated his birthday, man. So, you know what I'm saying, rest in peace. And then while we're on that subject, man, with our guest, he lost his daughter last month, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know that was sorry, so definitely rest in peace. You know, Mr. Ryleigh. Rest in peace to Ryleigh, you know what I'm saying? So,
Appreciate that, bro.
that's why we got the topics today, man, about bereavement and like how to deal with loss of your loved ones, because that is like one of the biggest things that contributes to your mental health.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And your physical health as well. So for you, man, what is mental health to you, and how do you, deal with your struggles dealing with mental health?
To be honest, I ain't gonna lie, like, I'm big on burying my pain. Like, I try to bury myself in my work, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's healthy, but then again, sometimes it's not. It's always good to talk, you know what I'm saying? Like, shout out my spouse, Khalil, you know what I'm saying? That's my love, I always having somebody to be able to talk to, you know what I'm saying? Express your pain to. That's always therapeutic, you feel me? Like, that's how I get through it, because, sometimes you ever hear the saying, like, you gotta expose your demons?
Yeah.
Like, I'm big on that. Like, if you think about it, a lot of times you hold shit in and beat you down. Like, it hold you. You be going through it in your mind, and you feel like you're alone in that situation, and then when you finally get it out, express it to someone, you be like, dang, that's all it took.
That's all it took.
You know what I'm saying? So I always got that one person that I can at least go talk to and be like, all right, this is what I'm going through, just so I can get it out of my chest. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm noticing like a trend in the pattern of like everybody that we talk to about how they deal and cope with mental health. And I think for the past couple of episodes, we've been having a lot of artists that's on. You know what I'm saying? So I know that y'all use to kind of like cope with that. One of the things that stuck out to me the most that you talked about, you said that you always need somebody to talk to, right? Either if it's your spouse, your brother, your sister, anybody. And then another thing you said, having that expose your demons, because it's like if you keep that shit in the inside, you know what I'm saying, you ain't talking to nobody. The next person that come up and talk to you and say some foul shit, you might, explode on them. You know what I'm saying? So let that shit out, man. Let that shit out. Don't hold that shit in. If you're an artist, man, you know what I'm saying, put that shit in your music. If you're a radio personality, get on the radio, you know what I'm saying, and just like talk about it, man, and just like, reach out to people that's out there that like post on Facebook, they be like, yo, I want to commit suicide, I ain't feeling well. Like even though you don't know them, like a message a day would keep the hurt away.
That's very
facts. You got something to say, man?
Yeah, you know what? And speaking of the music, I remember not so long ago I was in the studio with Shakey, and you know, right after he lost his daughter, he made this beautiful song, man. And I know that was helping with his grieving process, because we have the ability to express ourselves in a different way that most people don't have the ability to do. Some people don't have anyone to talk to. Some of us artists, we may not have a lot of people to talk to, but we still have the ability to get that stuff off us, expose our demons, by being able to put that on music and at least getting that release out there. You know, like when I just lost a really good friend of mine, man, and immediately, rest in peace, wrote about it and went right to the studio.
Sorry to hear that.
Appreciate it, bro. So it's one of those outlets that we have that a lot of people don't have. I wish everybody had the gift to express themselves like that and get it out there. We just were blessed, and then we have the ability to touch somebody else by telling them the story that they're not able to really communicate properly. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just, you know, we're blessed to be able to do that.
Right.
And it's crazy that you. Here go get this. We always say it's crazy, right? But it's funny. So it's crazy that you brought that up, because like I have like did my research. You know, you got to do your research when you do podcasts and other shit. Right. So I actually listened to the song. One thing that stuck out to me the most of the song is that I appreciate your freestyle, not really your creativity in it, right? So it reminded me of the Kanye West first track, Donda, right? So like the first couple of, you know, the Donda, a lot of people was thinking that it was like some demonic type of arithmetic shit, but it was basically like all them names they were sending like different tones was just mom's heartbeat. So I never beginning of your daughter song, it was like the heartbeat of your daughter, man. So
man. Baby heartbeat.
And then putting that in there, man, like as a father, man, how did that, you know, make you feel like, you know, like, just like go through that?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, like being an artist, you know, the first thing we do is think to put our life in our music. If you're a genuine artist, you know what I'm saying? So when I was in the hospital, because you know, you never expect to go through something like that.
Yeah,
like,
never.
You know, losing a child, that hit me so different. Like, I didn't heard about it, I'd have been around, like, you know, shout out to my Uncle Vito, he just lost his son right before that. Yeah, so I lost my dog, then my nephew, then it's been so much back to back, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so like I was able to immediately write that music in the hospital. My daughter is right here in my lady's arms, like she's grieving, and the first thing clicking in my head is write a song. And it's like I ain't want to seem like I'm insensitive or seem like I'm, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I'm kind of careless with it, but it was like that's the first thing that I had to do. I feel like
that's like how you cope with it.
Yeah,
you know,
you feel me?
Shit, yeah.
And it helped me cope with it. And to be honest, like the people who I know who lost children and lost, they hit me up like, man, bro, man, that just touched my soul. Like, man, that I can relate to that. Like everything you saying in the song, even just the fact that you able to do it, man, it's a blessing, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It helped me get over it. Not that I'm fully over it, but it helped me get through it like better, and knowing that I have this and knowing that piece of me is gone, but it's never forgotten. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, and then even having the ability to write that song, that gave you the strength to be strong enough for your girl. Yeah. Because when she's going through that could break you down emotionally. Because you're like, I'm not strong enough for her. I'm not even strong enough for my damn self right now. So having that opportunity to write that, get that out the way, get all that emotion, that anger that you have right now. Get it out of the way so you can be strong for her, so she can really go through the grieving process. We grieve, and it hurt to lose one, but I think when a mother has it inside, and that's it's a different type. It is, bro. And we want to understand, but when you birthing and you having that baby grow inside you, that's a different type of pain.
And to push it out and not be able to take it home, that was different. That's what hit me the most, because I'm like, man, bro, like I'm so used to I've been there for all my kids' births, you feel me? And I've been able to go home with them and not be able to like leave with my daughter. That hit me so different. And even today, like people don't see that part. Like when you in the crib and y'all crying
downtown,
you know what I'm saying? Like she cried on my shoulder today about it just because I played the song. You know what I'm saying? But it's also therapeutic for it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of holding that pain in and thinking about it, not telling me.
Get them tears about it.
You know, go ahead, shed them tears. She lay on my shoulder, I pat her back, rub, and you know it's gonna be okay. We're gonna get through it. You know, so
man. It's I don't know, man. I'm probably gonna get a little bit teary-eyed. It's crazy because like before I started listening to the song, that's when I found out about my homie, and then that song came on. It's like I don't got kids, but I love the shit out of my nieces and my nephews.
Right.
My sister both of my sisters had to go through it. My little sister, her first baby was a girl. You know, since she's still born, so like seeing that and like being there for my little sister and seeing the baby in her arm, like I'm just like I never really I seen it like on social media, but like to be in person or like seeing it for like both of them, and then my other sister, she lost my nephew. It was like 2013, so like it's sad, man. It's sad and it's different, man.
Yeah.
Like,
And then to know Shakey on a different level and know how much he really cared for the kids, you can see the pain that he's going through. You know what I mean? It's just, and you never want the people that you really truly care about to endure nothing like that. Especially, like, you know what I mean? If he was some bum ass nigga that didn't really care about his kids, it'd be a little bit different. But to know how much I done seen him sacrifice for his kids. Yeah. To know that and then to see him lose something that I know how much he cares about each one of the kids, it just hit a little bit different.
Yeah, they hit different, man. And that's a good segue into our topic of the day, which is bereavement and how to cope with a loss, right?
Yeah.
So it's bereavement is the period of grief and mourning after a death. When you grieve, it's part of the normal process of reacting to a loss. So you may experience grief as a mental, physical, social, or emotional reaction.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like physically, man, we break down, we tend not to eat, we tend not want to go outside, we tend to like want to like mope around and like be depressed. Emotionally, man, we might cry, we might lash out at people, man. And it's I never really knew a bereavement, man. Like I knew like after somebody died in our family, we used to work, man, them bereavement days off of work when you still get paid. You know what I'm saying? That was like the good days. It was like the good days, man. It's like they better approve me for these bereavement days, man. Cause like, I need to get paid, and like that's the only thing I like really knew about it until like a lot of death and shit started to happen like around me.
Yeah, close to home.
Yeah,
man.
Close to home, man. So it's like coping with loss. It's like the loss of a loved one is life's most stressful event and can cause a major emotional crisis, right? Yeah. After the death of someone you love, you experience bereavement, which literally means to be deprived by death. So, like, a lot of people, again, they always want to say, when people call you, they want to say, oh, I'm sorry for your loss, right? Okay, I get that. I'm sorry for my loss, man, but they always at least try to give, like, alternative things that you should do this, you should do that. To grieve, like, I don't think that that's even a good idea for you to be doing it, because a lot of people grieve different. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you losing a baby, it could be different from how somebody else reacts to losing a baby.
Yeah, right.
You feel me? Yeah. They might not hit them 5 years from now. They like, oh shit, I don't know what. So I hate when people do that. Just, hey man, give me your condolences, keep moving, let me get through this. If you want to be here for me, really be here for me. Come slide on me. Get me up out the crib if you possibly can. Get me out of this little dark space I'm in. But don't be like, man, you know, well, it's God's plan. No, motherfucker, you don't know God's plan. Yo, don't tell me no bullshit like that.
Exactly.
I don't want to hear this shit.
It's crazy because my girl, like, one of her friends, she had lost her baby too. And it was like perfect timing because, you know, sometimes you don't go through stuff for yourself. Sometimes you go through stuff for other people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't understand why you're going through it, but when somebody else go through it, you now realize it. Like, okay, I got through this and this how I got through it. And God trusted me enough with this test so He'd be able to bless this next person with it. You know what I'm saying? So she hit my girl up right away, like, man, don't let nobody tell you how to grieve.
Exactly.
Don't let nobody tell you when you should stop posting, when you should stop saying this and doing that. Grieve how you gonna grieve and get over it. You know what I'm saying? And that was a blessing because it helped me too. Because I was, you know, you get caught up in your mind of social media and the people around you. And everybody claim they support you. You know, man, go ahead, move on, and go ahead, stop this, and go. Like, you can't say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what my situation is. And you don't know what I've experienced right before this situation. You know what I'm saying? That maybe might get in that position. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's different, man. You know, you got to look at it from a different perspective when you coming out of a different situation because you don't know my situation. You know what I'm saying?
Right, you know, exactly, like, you don't know the situation. That's some bad, the negative about social media, right? Because social media, a lot of people go to social media and think social media is like the it factor. Right. So it's like, what I mean by the it factor is like, you gotta show off on social media. You gotta post your every move on social media. You gotta post your money, car, clothes, hoes. You gotta post everything on social media, man. And a lot of people would take that and be like, oh, that's how this person is. That's the perception that they have of you.
And that is not real.
And it's like, that shit is not real. Because like, a lot of people would think, like, I got the most money in the world. Like, I got money, but I like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm paid, but like, you don't even know that, like, I just have to borrow some money to pay my phone bill. For real.
Be like that sometimes.
Yeah, so it's like, be like that sometimes. So it's like, you kind of like know what to expect, right? So with the bereavement shit, something that come with it said know what to expect. It said when the death takes place, you may experience a wide range of emotions, even when the death is expected, right? So like, I think what they mean by when death is expected, like, I said this, I think last episode I said, I think I came to grips with like my grandma passing away.
Right.
So like
when I heard good life.
Yeah. So like when my sister came to me and said like, oh, grandma in the last stage of cancer and shit, like I wanted to cry, but then in my mind I'm like, you kind of already knew it. So like I was kind of already like mentally preparing myself for it, because as we get older we get sicker, and as we get sicker, the same thing that she got, my granddaddy died from it for her husband. So I'm like, you know, sometimes the doctors can be wrong, right? But then just seeing the conditions of how your grandma, you kind of like, you get that in your mind and you kind of know what the fuck to expect. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It said many people report feeling an initial stage of numbness after first learning of a death, but there is no real order to the grieving process, right? So emotions may include denial. We already know what that is, man. Like, nah, man, I can't believe. I still can't believe it.
Right,
I still can't believe this, man. Like, why would somebody do this to him? You know what I'm saying? Disbelief, right? Asking God why. Like, man, God, why you do this and why you do that? Or you just like, and this like, damn, man, like this person wasn't a bad person. Why is this person gone, right? Yeah. Confusion, the same as disbelief, right? Shock. You kind of shocked because you just like, I just seen this person. Like, I just talked to this person. Like, we were just talking about linking up on the song or coming to the event. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Sadness, man. You always get sad. Yearning, anger, humiliation, despair, and go, right? So, like, man, finding out the news about my homie today, like, I froze for a second. Right? Because, again, I thought it was his birthday or something. But his birthday was October 10th. So I'm just looking at the pictures and I'm like, nah, this ain't. I'm like, nah, no. Like, I should have just replied to your text message and said, tell me, you asking me who do shirts and shit. So like, we be in denial, or like, we always act like confused when shit happen, or like, oh, maybe if I would have answered this call, or if I would have answered this text message, life would have been different. But it's like, that's the emotions, that's the emotional part of bereavement shit, right? Everybody go through it, and there's nothing wrong with us having to feel like that somebody that was important to us is gone now. You know, so we want to blame everybody. We want to blame the people that dropped that nigga off at the club, knowing he supposed to be his ass in the crib, right? We want to blame, you know, him, or he should never been outside. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? We can't really do that, man. So like, it's a remember, it takes time to fully observe the impact of a major loss. So you never stop missing your loved one, but the pain eases at the time and allows you to go on with your life. So again, like you said, like, man, it take 5 years, 10 years, 20 years with Kanye West. Like, his mom died when? Like, yeah. So like, when people listen to this album, or like the first initial thought of his album, a lot of people be like, oh, it's demonic. But since we performed in the shit, and since we, you know what I'm saying, listen to the shit in its entirety, we like, this shit is just him evolving from him, and like, he never really got over his mom passing away. So this album was just like that, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's why I give you props on your creativity for doing your song like that, because like, a lot of people don't get the creative mind, you know what I'm saying, to do that, right?
But even beyond that, I mean, he made songs like the anxiety song. I mean, to listen to that song, even to this very day, like the song's not out, but me personally having heard it, and it got me through some things by his creativity. So just knowing how good he is in his music, he's helped me in some shit, and he don't even really know what he helped me in. You know what I mean? So it just goes to show the talent of the individual. We was watching The Baby a little bit earlier today. You know, and what I really like about what's going on right now, the facade that we have to be always tough, especially as a black man, it's not like that no more. It's okay to check on your strong friends. It's okay to be able to talk about some things the average person don't want to talk about, because you're not a real nigga if you talk about your emotions, because you know how it is, a nigga that use that shit against you. First opportunity to get licked, this weak ass nigga just told me this shit, bro. But now it's getting to a point where shit. Now the nigga was strong as fuck because he was able to do something a lot of other people don't have the ability to do. They don't have the ability to express themselves like that. Niggas is cold and callous now.
Hey, niggas got a cold heart.
And then I take it out on the next motherfucker.
For real. Just because they don't know how to communicate properly. I'm finna go ahead and slab on somebody real quick. They gotta feel this rap.
Yeah, man, I feel like that's like a dark cloud that's over Chicago, period, too. Like, you know, a lot of people gotta hold that persona of like being a tough guy, the toughest, the most gangster, the most this. When a lot of us are broken. A lot of us are hurt. You know what I'm saying? Even dealing with bereavement, like how you explained, like. Some people don't know how to express that, so they out here sliding, they out here doing whatever to try and cope, but never realizing it just makes the situation worse. You know what I'm saying? When you don't expose them demons, they gonna eat you alive, and how you doing shit that you don't even know what. Like you'll sit back and think like, damn, did I fucking just do that? You know what I'm saying? Like
then it's too late.
And it's too late. And now you done made the situation worse. But you know, it's real important that you expose those demons.
Yeah, you expose that shit.
For real.
And that's crazy that we talking about this shit, man. Cause like I was just telling somebody the other day about like a lot of killers that's out here that's killing people. Like they really have like no remorse.
Yeah.
But like who the fuck's wake up? Like I heard 10 gunshots 2 weeks ago in the fucking rain. Like I'm talking about raining like flood rain. I'm just like, who the fuck is out here shooting that? You know, like, fucking afternoon.
Fucking blizzard outside.
Right? And then it's like by us doing the mental health shit, I'm like, damn, a majority of these people, right, it's a lot of PTSD from whoever teaching them this shit. If they seen people get killed or something like that and never really know how to handle it, but it's still not an excuse of why the fuck you out here doing this damn killing. Like you so cold blooded, you killing kids. You know what I'm saying? Like
people nowadays, man, you think about just what you go through growing up in the hood your entire life, just watching strangers die or overdose, watch somebody get their shit popped off. There's so many things you go through, you become numb to death. Even just look at what we watch on the news. You could watch 15 kids just die in a fucking fire, and then they got some happy ass shit coming on right after that. It desensitizes you from what's really going on in the way. You don't have the ability to actually process none of this shit. It's happening so fast nowadays. By the time you kind of think about something, damn, somebody else just got killed. Then somebody else. Eventually, you don't even think about something. You become numb to this shit, right? And it's like you keep saying shit. I ain't even just gonna call out no particular radio station, but a lot of radio stations, they be like, oh, 3-year-old, you know, who this just got killed yesterday, man. You know, we gotta put the guns down. The next song is a killing song. It's in the motherfucking trap. It's catchy though.
Like the shit, and you be in the car, look, you be sad as fuck. You be like, man, this shit's trying to happen, man. And then the song come on, you just like,
that bitch. Brother, nigga pull up on me. I'm drums down. See, man, that's crazy. I was just talking about that, man. That's crazy. Like, I was just talking to motherfuckers about that. Like, man, bro, it's crazy how you would be sitting back and thinking, like, man, this shit's so sick and it's sad what's going on. But then next thing you know, you in a situation where you might even have to get down on somebody and you be like, bro, I was just feeling like I don't even want to add to this. You feel me? Facts, I don't want to be another part of that, like what's going on. But then it's like, man, the world's so crazy nowadays. Like my homie got a song, shout out Lil T. Man, he got a song, he say, I ain't crazy, life is. Life is really crazy, and it'll make you feel like you crazy.
But it's not.
But you're not, and it's like just the chain of events is happening. You'll feel sad one moment, and the next moment you like, man, I ain't for none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm finna go crazy.
So it's just like, man, crazy, man. All this
then later on, you tearing up at the club.
Man, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, you teared up like, and you just like, man, nigga, you a G. Like, get this shit, like, you going
right, get this shit together.
Come back on stage, act like that shit happened. Like, yeah, this nigga really okay?
Man, for real, man.
Alright, so it say mourning a loved one, right? It say mourning is the natural process you go through to accept a major loss, right? Mourning may include religious traditions, honoring the dead, or gathering with friends and family to share your loss. Mourning is personally may last for months. So religious traditions isn't like funerals, right? A lot of black people have funerals, but I never seen an Asian funeral.
That's a good point. You know what? I see them do memorials.
Yeah.
Like you ever see them like
funeral.
Yeah, I've
Like
never seen
actual,
one.
like actual funeral.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
never seen
What do
that.
they do? They probably like.
They probably.
I don't know.
They probably believe in like cremation.
A lot of Chinese are Buddhists, so
Yeah, they probably cremate.
They might. I think
They might cremate.
Cause they be doing like ashes. You ever like watch a movie?
Yeah.
They had the little flowers and stuff
Right.
floating in the water.
That's
and
a good
stuff.
Or, I mean, they
Nah,
might.
I ain't gonna do that. We got some Chinese friends. We love y'all. Thoughts of Zodo thoughts is not equate everybody on this shoulder.
You know, they might.
Nah, I ain't gonna never do that to the Chinese people, man.
We love them too, man.
Grieving is the outward expression of your loss. They say your grief is likely to be expressed physically, emotionally, or physiologically, right? For instance, crying is a physical expression, right? While depression is a psychological expression, right? So, you said earlier, check on your strong friends, right? So I just want to check on my strong friends, right? That are Bears fans, right? At this moment.
See, I'm about to give you some props real
You know what I'm
quick.
saying?
This was real
Man.
So I just want to check on my strong friends, throughout the duration of the football season.
Don't worry,
We've been
I'll be
having-
editing this show.
We've been having,
this episode.
we've been having,
It's time for us to walk
we've been
out
having
on
this
this.
Cubbies years, you know what I'm saying, talking major shit about the Packers lost first,
man.
our first showdown, you know what I'm saying, and then we beat them yesterday, 24-14, man. You know
The
what I'm
Packers?
saying? Yes.
I'm
The Packers
so
is
proud
my
of them
team.
Bears, man.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. So I just want to check on my strong friend, man, with the morning of a loss. But before you say that, I want to tell y'all, I am the first Chicago promoter to be on a team, right, that dominated and owns Soldier motherfucking Field, right?
Yeah.
The first time was Donda, right?
Right.
We dominated that
Dominated. Yeah.
shit. My team dominated Soldier Field every time they come there.
I
You know what I'm saying?
hope this
So I'm the
SD
number
card
one
is
promoter
corrupted.
in Chicago that's been on the team that dominated Soldier Field.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So I just had to put it up there. But
Anyway,
I'm not a hater.
now I gotta
Right.
give. So after you done with all that bullshit, now I gotta give a shout out to Zodo, man. When I lost my friend recently, he was one of the few people. Everybody hits you up on social media, they do the prayer hands and everything. But it hit different when somebody take their time out to just give you a call and just check on you, man. You good? You need anything? He might not be able to provide anything, but the fact that he called, he checked on me, man. I salute you. I appreciate you, brother. It did mean a lot to me. And then Shakey did something, man. And before it was embarrassing to talk about. But I was going through a real dark. Man, it was just like everything was hitting me immensely. I was ready to check out, and I was about to commit suicide, man. No bullshit. And Shakey came over to the crib, and this is what he did. He listened to everything. He didn't interrupt me. He listened to everything, and then he prayed for me. He said, everybody just put hands together, man, and pray for me. And I don't know what happened at that moment, but I didn't have those kind of thoughts no more. It was just different. So now that I got y'all both in front of me, I appreciate y'all, love both of y'all, man. When I was going through something tough in my life, man, y'all both was there for me, man. That means a lot to me. That's what friends really do. Friends can turn up, people can turn up with you all the time. They can salute you on social media, they can applaud you when you're winning. But a real person, when you down and out and you in them trenches like that, they gonna hold you, they'll pray with you, whatever you need at that particular time, they're doing. That's really separate some associates from what a real friend is, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And the piggyback off of that, not my fault.
No, you good, bro. You good.
But it's just like doing that. I believe in great karma. I believe in like reaping what you sow. You feel me? And like sure as shit, when my daughter died, bro, he was right there. You know what I'm saying? And you never know, like how blessing somebody will return to you.
Yeah.
You might think it might return in the same favor, but it might not. It might return in something different, but you needed that. You feel me?
Yeah.
And being there, he was a shoulder. Like I don't cry. You know what I'm saying? I really hold that shit in. Sometimes I express it and I let it go. You know what I'm saying? But to shed tears and my brother hugged me like, man, you feel me? Like you good. You gonna get through this, man. You gonna be straight. To hear that, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes people take it as a cliche.
Yeah.
But it's like that really hit where I needed it to go.
Shit hit home for you.
You know what I'm saying? Because you'll get your mind. I was ready to smoke, bro. I was ready to smoke myself. I ain't gonna lie. I was at the point like I'm losing so much. I just lost like 4 people. You know what I'm saying? I lost my best friend, which was my dog. You know what I'm saying? And I lost my cousin. So it was like, man, bro, it was just so much going on. And to have somebody there just being like, man, bro, you good? You gonna get that? You know what I'm saying? and I had an event. Yeah. I was getting ready to have what was the video release party, right?
Video release party.
And all the people who I expected to be there, that was just kind of gonna be my push over the hill. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever. All the people I invited, last minute, like I ain't coming. You feel me? Yeah. So it just pushed me deeper. You know, when you going through something already, it just adds fuel to the fire.
To be there for you.
Yeah, you know. And him and his wife, man, they always show me love. I love them, man. That's my family, like for real. Like they always pop out the event. They always show love. They was there on time. They showed love. They was there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was able to grieve. You know what I'm saying? Show them that love, and they showed me love in return. I was like, damn, like, man, you don't find that too. You know,
yeah, you don't find it too often, man. And that's how you know, like, it's a lot of genuine shit going on, right? Because, like, you look at different podcasts, like, you look at these different reality TV shows, and it's like, everybody, they say one thing one episode, and then, like, the next episode, they say it, right? But throughout the whole duration of the 10 episodes of Mental Health Mondays, the podcast, it's just facts. You can go back to all the episodes and see that everything that we say every episode, it stays the same, right? Nothing changes. The mood still be in place and everything like that, man. So like, this is how you genuinely check up on your strong friends, because again, a lot of people, my kid, my only got kids, my 3-year-old nephew can comment on Facebook with the praying emoji hands. He just be doing it, you know what I mean, that he fucking care, right? 95% of people on social media do not give a fuck about what the fuck you're going through, right? So when I call you, if I go over to your crib, if I may put the praying hands, but before I put the praying hands, I'm gonna make sure I call you good first, and then go back. So that's the real way you be there to support people, right? Because it's like, again, with the suicide shit, right? You can post on social media like, oh, I'm ready to commit suicide. You know, I'm losing too many people. Now it's my turn, right? When you comment, right, and then you call them, like you just say like life, and you say like life because they could have been, while you typing, they could have been cutting themselves, right? So when you call, it's like, it's distracting. No matter what you're doing, it's distracting them from what they really trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So dealing with a major loss, they say the death of a loved one is always difficult. Your reactions are influenced by the circumstance of the death, particularly when it is sudden or accidental. Your reactions are also influenced by your relationship with the person who died. Right? So the first point they got on here, it's gonna hit home a lot. So it says a child's death, right? We started talking about it. It say it arouses an overwhelming sense of injustice for lost potential, unfulfilled dreams, and sense of suffering. Say parents may feel responsible for the child's death, no matter how irrational they may seem. Parents may also feel that they have lost a vital part of their own identity. So again, like, I don't have kids, but like seeing you go through that pain of losing the kid, seeing my sister go through the pain, I kind of got a sense like I would never really fully understand. I had a brother that was a baby when he died, but he passed away like 6 years before I was born. So I never really got a chance to meet him, but I know my mama went through it. So like, again, man, so what would be your advice? You know, since everybody did, what would be your advice to give to a person that just lost, not even just a person, just like a man, because as a man, we don't really get that much advice. Right. We don't really get, a lot of people look at us like we're supposed to be strong, but like we break down too, we hurt too, we have feelings too. So like, as a father, as a husband, as a brother, as a nephew, what advice would you give to people out there that's dealing with the same thing, man?
Man, just don't let nobody tell you how to grieve, and like, don't feel ashamed of your bereavement, because a lot of people will get shameful in the thought of thinking like a man ain't supposed to cry, a man ain't supposed to hurt. You know, it's really important that you let those pains out. You know what I'm saying? I've cried and I shed tears, and it's crazy. Like, when I did cry, like, I felt better. You know what I'm saying? Because when you trying to hold it in and trying to keep all that stuff tucked away, it beats you inside so bad. You know what I'm saying? When you let it out, it make you feel normal, make you feel human. So my advice would be, make yourself normal by crying. Feel the pain.
Normalize crying.
Normalize crying and let it out. It's been times I've been tensified, bro. I'm talking about, I done did a lot of dangerous things, been bad, crazy, all that stuff in my life, but it ain't nothing like letting off some tears, bro. Man, you know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing like letting them off, like getting it off your chest, because sometimes, you ever see that kid that's in a park or something, that's mad to the point where he crying? You know what I'm saying? But next thing you know, you see him, he cool. That's because he let it out.
He let that shit out.
But you got other kids that probably didn't get that chance to let it off, and then you fuck around, see him down the street beating somebody ass or acting crazy, and acting bad in school or at home, you know, because they don't know how to express. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of them shit that, like, I mean, I'm apologize for cutting you out, but a lot of them, especially those little boys, I'll beat your ass, man.
Yeah, for real.
Soft ass, tough for real. So we get taught at an early age, you better not cry.
Or like when you cry,
or like
when you cry, like, man, you better stop that. You know,
stop that shit.
You know,
that soft ass shit.
Yeah.
Like, but at times, like my nephew cry a lot, right? My nephew, like, every time, like, he don't get his way, like, he'll, like, get in the corner, like, and, like, start crying. And, like, I want to be that uncle that be like, man, get your pussy ass on to it. But, like, me being and knowing about mental health, me being emotional, like, I'm like, what's wrong, man? Come here, man. Hey, like,
you're
bro,
teaching them,
bro, stop crying, bro.
You teach him how to process it properly.
And see, it's not what you do, it's how you do it.
Exactly.
Because
he'll be willing to communicate with him.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
I got a 1-year-old, I got a 5-year-old, and a 7-year-old that's boys, straight boys. And I have to learn how to balance the love. You feel me? Like, it's sometimes I have to be rough on you because I know what you doing right now, that's a little soft. You know what I'm saying? As a man, you don't want to grow up and make that a habit. But sometimes they need that love too, to know that it's okay to be feeling how you feeling. And that's the biggest thing, even with bereavement. When you dealing with that, bro, it's okay to have pain. Feel normal about that, because when you feel like you're alone and you feel like you're the only one going through it, you feel crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I try to teach my sons too, like, if you crying about, because you got to do your homework, buddy, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying?
Tighten up right now.
But if you knock your head on some shit,
like, you know that you feel that pain.
You feel that pain, you like, come here, son. I'll be like, I know that hurts, man. Oh, you good? All right, come on, you got this, big dog. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different type of love. You know what I'm saying?
So we go into, like, a couple of minutes, but you know, after, you know, people pass away, man, this is how you living with grief. So say coping with death is vital to your mental health. It is only natural to experience grief when a loved one dies. The best thing you can do is allow yourself to grieve. There are many ways to cope effectively with your pain. We just talked about this, right? Seek out caring people, right? So say find relatives and friends who can understand your feelings of loss. Join support groups with others who are experiencing similar losses. So just to, you know, quickly go into it, we got this platform. So you join, this isn't a support group, but it's a social platform that you can come on to express what you was going through, right? Say express your feelings again. Mainly let that shit out. Cry, you know what I'm saying? Do everything that you need to do. Take care of your health. We preach this every episode, right? If your mental health ain't good, you can't expect nobody else around your mental health to be good, especially if you a husband or father, because you got too many people to look out for. Accept that life is for the living, right? It takes effort to begin to live again in the present and not dwell on the past. Postpone major life changes. Try to hold off on making any major changes, such as moving, remarrying, changing jobs, or having another child. You should give yourself time to adjust to your loss. Be patient. That's pretty self-explanatory. Again, seek outside help when necessary, right? So that means going to therapy. You know what I'm saying? Getting help, right? Because there's nothing more popping, there's nothing more favorable than you going out and talking to a person that you don't know, that cannot be biased towards what the fuck you going through, right? So, like, a lot of times we get on social media and a lot of people would want to tell us how to grieve. They want to tell us it's our fault for the way we're grieving. They want to basically, like, a lot of people don't like to take accountability for, you know what I'm saying, the shit that they do, and the people around them don't even let them take accountability, because they so far trying to be cool with them and being instead of being yes men, right? They're not being like, no, you can't do this, but they want to encourage bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So when you go to somebody outside, they don't give a fuck about your feelings, like on the personal level, because they like, okay, I see you going through this shit, but you caused that pain on yourself, and they gonna keep that shit on your ass. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody that's out there, man, that's dealing with a loss, man, again, like we all in this past month been dealing with a lot of deaths. I'm talking about, like, homies, your daughter, your homie, my homies, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people that we see on a regular basis, man, and then they're not here no more. And sometimes my mental health gets to the point where it just be like, I be walking down the street or, like, just thinking, like, again, my biggest fear is death, right? So, like, I just be thinking, like, man, when we not here, what's gonna happen? But then I kind of get like a sign of relief that's like, when we gone, I'm not gonna be able to know how I feel, because you know what I'm saying, I'm not gonna be here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we're gonna end it right there, man. This month is National Domestic Violence Month. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to, you know what I'm saying, shout out to my boy Ryan from Black People Chicago. His mom Alani, man, they lost, it was years ago. He lost his sister to domestic violence, you know what I'm saying? So I know this is very big and special, you know what I'm saying, for them, especially going through the loss of your sister, right?
Yeah.
And losing them by gun violence, man, it's one thing to lose a person by natural, right? But it's another to lose a person when somebody else take life away from you. You know what I'm saying? Besides the person that gave you life, which is God, you know what I'm saying? So just give a shout out to them, because through them I learned how to take this mental health shit and take our platform in order to make it, you know what I'm saying, what the fuck it is, man. So a little exercise that I want to do before we leave. Go to your 10-year-old self, right? What advice will you give to your 10-year-old self about, now man, this is just you knowing how you was at the age of 10, right? And then you knowing how you is now and what the shit that you learned. So give advice to your 10-year-old self of, you know, just life in general. Anyone y'all can start.
What advice I give my 10-year-old self? Fuck bitches, get money. I'm just playing. I'm just saying, no, I would tell because at that time I think I started bullying. I would tell myself, make more friends than enemies. Focus more on your future. Care more about your mother than you do your friends. And make sure you take care of yourself, man. Stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
Stay out of trouble.
I think I'd tell my 10-year-old self, stay out of trouble for sure. Everybody who you think your friend ain't your friend. Keep your mind focused on what's positive. Stay strong and be prepared for what's to come, because what's to come is better than what's been.
And then to my 10-year-old self, man, I think I was going through a whole lot of trying to find out who I was as a 10-year-old, right? Because again, I wasn't really getting support. Even growing up, I always felt like the odd child out of 14, 15 kids, man. So to my 10-year-old self, I just want to tell you, you may think that you're gonna need these people, you know what I'm saying, to succeed and everything like that, man. But you can find people that's outside of your family that's gonna make sure that you're good more than your family do, man.
Facts.
And you was a little tough little motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? But that toughness made you the person you is today, man. You're gonna succeed in whatever the fuck you doing, man. And just always check on your strong friends. It's okay to not be okay, man. And fuck support, then they really supporting you. Right? You always got to continue to use the resources that you do have. So the people that's around you that's really helping you, them your resource that you got internally that's going to help. So don't worry about the outside noise and the people that's not supporting you, because that's what's the fuck going to bring you down. Alright? So make sure y'all, the next episode, the episode that's up now is 6 and 6 part 2. Right? So we still got episode 7, 8, and 9 that we got to upload, man. They're going to be edited, they're going to be out in the next couple of weeks, you know what I'm saying? Shakey episode going to be out probably the beginning of November, you know what I'm saying? So just check on your strong friends, man. Need y'all to follow Coffee and Mental Health, man. They got a lot of good shit going on. And again, since it's National Domestic Violence Month, man, shout out to Rachel, that's Ryan's baby mom. Yeah. She on her own, she got a company called Nova, you know what I'm saying? So she got a thing called Connections for Abused Women and Their Children, right, for domestic violence. So to donate items for domestic violence survivors and their children through CAWC, read their blog at purenova.com. You know what I'm saying? So again, if anybody that's out there, we really particularly looking for ladies. If y'all out there that's dealing with, domestic violence, physical violence, anything of that sort, man, we definitely want y'all on the show, man. It's good to have my brothers here with me, man, but I want to have a female perspective on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? So if you're anybody else that's out there that that's going through it, man, make sure you hit up Zodo Entertainment LLC at gmail.com. That's ZODOE Entertainment at gmail.com. And follow me on Twitter, Zodo ENT, Instagram, Zodo Entertainment, man. You know what I'm saying, y'all?
You already know it is Dirty Eagle, and you know what it is. Anyway, though, look, we always say every episode, you don't necessarily have to come on the show. If there's something that you want to hit us in our DM, that you want us to talk about, any kind of topics, and you want to make anonymous here, man, we got you. This format is for us because it helps us with our things that we go through in our personal life, but it's for y'all as well. So if there's any kind of topics that y'all want to talk about, something that you've gone through personally, make sure you reach out to me or Zoto, and we'll definitely be here for you, man, and give you some advice on what it is. Or we might have a specialist come on and give you their personal, professional opinion.
Hey man, I just want to shout out to all the domestic warriors, all the survivors, you know what I'm saying? Salute to y'all. You know, my lady, she is a domestic survivor. You know what I'm saying? I love her, you know what I'm saying? She's a strong soldier. And to every woman out there going through that, you know what I'm saying? Have somebody to talk to, reach out to your people, you know, be ashamed, you know what I'm saying? That's your boy Big Hen off the Hen checking in. You heard? Y'all heard from me, man.
Hey, man, I just want to give a big shout out to Cello Bright, man. You know what I'm saying? Cello Bright, welcome home, bro. You know what I'm saying? You came on the stage, man. You just like, hold on, so you gave us our props for having you to the mental health shit, man. So we definitely appreciate that, man. Shout out to my boy Phil, Martell, and Sherman. Man, we got the drugs, man. It was a hell of a verse. If y'all missed it, go to that Heat Check page, man. We always love to support black-owned business on this platform. So again, you know, I got to support the drug, even though I don't do drugs. You know what I'm saying?
Play the locked in. My homie is Calvin.
And yeah, man, we going, man. Thank y'all for always genuinely supporting us. This is the end of season 1.
Yeah, that's it.
10 episodes. We're gonna do 10 episodes this season, man. Season 2 starts in another 2 weeks, man. So we're gonna give y'all time to go catch up. Mental Health Mondays, the podcast is on iHeartRadio. It is on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Breaker. It's on a lot of streaming motherfucking platforms.
So your baby mama phone.
You know what I'm saying? On your baby mama phone. So go ahead and get it, man.
See what she listening to.